Good afternoon. It's Thursday, April 25. I'm Herman Green with your midday news. A special welcome to those of you watching online at onespotmedia.com. The government says it will be continuing to position itself to reap significant growth in the economy. This follows recent reports by the Planning Institute of Jamaica, PIOJ, that the country has seen significant growth over previous quarters.
Too far. The fruits of our sacrifice are much too evident for us to jump on any train of policy reversal.
That's the charge from Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark. He was speaking at the opening of the VMBS Fairview branch in St. James. Dr. Clark noted that of significant impact to the growth agenda was the opportunity for increased employment. Data released from Statin showed that the unemployment rate in January declined to a new low of 8%. This was a 1.6% reduction from January last year. It also followed unemployment rates of 8.4% in July and 8.7% in October 2018. Dr. Clark says the country has seen over 100,000 people working who were not working several years ago.
For us to dare to gauge in policy reversal, anybody who is interested in policy reversal, let them be the first ones to give up their jobs. Because I'm telling you, we are on the side of the people who have gained employment as a result of the policies that we are pursuing. And under the government of Prime Minister Andrew Holness, under which I have the privilege of being the Minister of Finance, there will be no policy reversal.
And with the government on a standby facility arrangement with the IMF, the Finance Minister says the policies that have been in place over the years will not change. This, he noted, as there have been significant benefits for the country.
The policies have delivered for the Jamaican people. They continue to deliver for the Jamaican people. The capital expenditure that we are able to execute today is 100% more than the capital expenditure that we executed 3 or 4 years ago. Our spending on social support is 60% higher than our spending on social support 3 or 4 years ago. Those are tangible gains from our economic reform program.
The Manchester police say they have made breakthroughs in 2 recent incidents of robberies said to be targeting Chinese-owned businesses. Deputy Superintendent Lloyd Darby gave the update amidst calls for greater policing to help stem rising crime in the towns of Spalding and Christiana.
We have in custody a suspect in relation to that robbery and shooting of the policeman in Spalding. And we continue our investigations in that regard. We also have in custody that young man who was caught on camera breaking into the banks in Christiana. He was arrested the very next day after the incident, and he was wearing the same clothes that he wore when he broke into the bank.
He's also assuring residents and business operators in particular of additional police patrols in both towns, even as he asks persons to give the police any information they have on crimes in the parish. As firefighters continue investigations into Tuesday's fire at the Prairie Market in downtown Kingston, there are new questions about security at that facility. Vendors have lost millions of dollars in goods at a market that has had a fire every year for almost half a decade. Tuesday's blaze is just the latest of what now appears to be an annual event. Fire gutting the Prairie Market in downtown Kingston. A fire in November 2017 left dozens of vendors in tears as they lost stocks purchased ahead of the Christmas season. But that wasn't the first year it was happening.
Year before last year, and now the early part of November. We can't take it no more.
But then, in August 2018, another fire.
I'm fed up and tired right now. Yeah. Burn out 4 years now.
With each of the yearly fires, questions of arson. Vendors and customers calling for greater security measures to be implemented to protect life and property. That year, 2018, the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation met with vendors, and Mayor of Kingston, Delroy Williams, made this promise.
We have also committed to put in safety cameras, security cameras, so we are going to put in the infrastructure. We are going to begin to start the process to put in the infrastructure. The safety cameras will offer a lot in terms of will help us to deploy our municipal police and to work closer with the JCF.
In addition to that, promises to fireproof the facility by using a different type of material for the stalls. Also, the area was to be fenced to prevent unauthorized access and possible arson attacks. However, by our checks, 8 months later, none of those infrastructural changes has been made. And on Tuesday, like clockwork, another fire. More than 100 stalls and thousands of dollars in goods burnt to ashes. Now, in the meantime, Town Clerk at the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, Robert Hill, says changes are coming to the security arrangements of the market district in downtown Kingston. Mr. Hill states that the area where the railway market is located is widely used, so security arrangements should always be in place.
The security is an aspect that we have to really focus on, and it is one of those difficulties and challenges we continue to grapple with. There's security provided for the market structures itself, but we do not have enough to cover the entire market district. So we'll have to now put additional measures in place to ensure that happens.
There was chaos on the Prairie Main Road in St. Anne last night as residents staged a fiery protest angry over the fatal shooting of a resident allegedly by the police. TVJ's O'Shane Masters has the details.
Furious residents and the traffic moving at snail's pace. This was the scene at Prairie in St. Anne as residents vented their anger over the shooting death of a member of their community allegedly by the police minutes after 7 o'clock Tuesday evening. It's reported that 29-year-old Tom Troy McKenzie, a laborer of Middle Street in the community, who was employed at an establishment nearby, was upset with his boss as he was not paid for work done the previous week. The police was called, and upon their arrival, Mr. McKenzie was reportedly seen with a machete. The cops say they told him to drop the weapon, but he disobeyed and was shot in the foot. TVJ News was informed that he was shot again and was quickly taken away to hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Our news team spoke with a number of residents and the sister of the deceased.
This shocked everybody. It shocked everybody because if it was somebody, if it was like a person that gives trouble, or he's a murderer or a thief or anything like that, people that say, yeah, he deserves it. But you understand me? You see all of these blockings that's going out here, we don't have nothing to do with it. It's people that respect it because the way how he deals with people. You work somebody, and when you work somebody, you must expect a big holiday, the man going to want him pay. You understand me? Him come to you for him pay, and him have to come with altercations to get him money.
Meanwhile, a cousin who was on the scene expressed concern with how the crime scene was treated.
I'm going to take him, kill him like one and drive out. I'm going to kill him on a crime scene, I yell tape, run after, there's a be police come on crime scene, I yell tape. And when I come back again, then come back, pick up Spencer, when I look again, crime scene come, then can't find nothing on the scene. What kind of thing this? And the man I want to take one killer.
Acting Commanding Officer for St. Anne, Superintendent Richard Hilton, is however assuring residents that no stones will be left unturned in solving the murder.
But we just want to assure members of the public that the unfortunate incident that took place is being investigated by INDECOM and the Bureau of Special Investigation alongside the St. Anne Police, and it is being given full attention.
He also says that measures have been put in place to prevent another roadblock.
At present, we have a deployment of police personnel monitoring the area. We also have our TSS team again engaging members of the public and impressing upon them the need to allow the roadway, which is a main thoroughfare between Montego Bay and St. Anne and other places out west, to be maintained free for vehicular traffic.
O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
Workers in the tourism sector are to benefit from a new housing development project in Montego Bay, St. James. The Housing Agency of Jamaica, HAJ, signed off on the Rhine Park project this week. Prime Minister Andrew Holness explained that the project, which has been in the pipeline for 10 years, had stalled because the initial projected unit sale price